Josh Green here, Tungsten Tales. I'd like to be joined for the first time on Tungsten Tales by Aaron Beeney. Aaron, it's fair to say that you're one of the more interesting players outside of darts life on the tour. Prison officer and a darts player. That's not a combination we see too often.
No, it's not a combination that goes hand in hand much, but you know, prison service does have a little darting family, so we do exist.
Okay, you have a darting family, do you? So I mean, there are other players within the prison ranks we know of?
It was actually through the prison darts that I ended up going to Q school in the first place. I got a little bit of support from prison darts, so that's where my start came from.
Oh, really? So I mean, what is the setup there? Is it just a social thing away from work, or is it very seriously taken?
It's more a social thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the prison service has a bit of a like a sister company called the PSSA, Prison Service Sports Association, and they cover all manner of things. And yeah, I noticed that they'd done darts. I got in contact one day a couple of years back.
Yeah.
After not playing for a while, and that's kind of what got me back throwing again.
Yeah. So is it fair to say that sort of it was a bit of a hobby for yourself, just throwing darts, enjoying playing a bit of darts, and suddenly you're a tour card holder and you're turning up and playing the top pros in the world?
Yeah. I mean, short version of the story, like I've kind of always played darts. My parents played darts, granddad played darts. And you know, I was working wherever I could. I worked as a forklift driver, worked in a pet shop, run pubs. Yeah. I've done all sorts of jobs and didn't have much money. It was just something that you could go out with a tenner in your pocket, meet up with some friends in a team and do something one night a week. But yeah, I joined the prison service. I stopped playing for a couple of years. Like, didn't throw a dart at all. But then, yeah, it became a bit of a hobby again, playing in a pub once a week, and then doing, like, we only hold 4 tournaments a year with the prison service.
Okay.
And just doing that. And yeah, I started to win a few things, started getting a bit better, and got encouraged to enter Q school. And yeah, it turns out I'm not a bad player.
not a bad player at all. We'll get onto that in a bit. But in terms of that encouragement for Q school, I mean, did that come from lots of people saying that you're pretty good, you need to go there? Or was there individual voices really pushing you to go and compete with the best?
So with the prison darts, we do 3 in the UK. We do what we call a Southern Open, a Midlands Open, and a Northern Open.
Okay.
And I was consistently going quite deep in them tournaments, not winning anything, but doing really well. And yeah, like they really are a family. Like, they're all prison officers or healthcare workers in prison, and they're all associated with the prison service in one role or another. And they were really encouraging, saying like, yeah, you can proper play. And they held an international one against the Danish prison service. And it was going out to Copenhagen, where I won my first prison tournament. I hadn't won anything until then. And I actually went unbeaten for 4 days in 3 different competitions. And it was 2 members of the Danish team who are quite well known within the darting circuit, and both were prison officers. That's Jan Hoffman, a legend from the late 80s, early 90s. He was a prison officer, and Michael Frydendahl, who happens to be a bit of a bigwig with the PDC Nordic and Baltic and does all the PDC commentary. Also a prison officer. And it was them 2 that sat me down and really gave me a bit of a talking to and spurred me on to do the right things towards becoming professional.
Okay. So I thought you were a bit more of an anomaly in terms, but it seems like there's quite a group of you that have got the darts genes in terms of the prison officers.
Yeah, like the darts bug, definitely. It's not like, when you consider how many prison workers there are in the country, there's only a handful of us that get together and do it. But one thing that has happened, because within the prison service we have like a global email distribution thing.
Yeah.
All our email addresses are like the same thing, just with your name sort of it. So I have had even more prison workers, like now my name's out there, finding me on the global emailing list and saying like, oh, like the prison service tournaments, how do you get involved? Like, I play in a pub, I'd love to get started. Your story's great. So yeah, it looks like the prison darting family might be growing. So
wow, that's great news to hear. I mean, how long have you been working in that sort of line of work? I mean, it's a line of work that you say doesn't particularly go in hand with darts either.
no, like some days you never know what time you're going to finish. You know, the wrong thing kicks off in the prison. So yeah, being able to attend a dart match that's scheduled for in the evening, you just never know if you're going to be out of work on time, what's going to happen throughout the day. We pick up injuries, you know, there is violence in prisons, there's no hiding that. But I've been doing it for 13 years, started in the prison 2008. So I've been doing it a long time, I've worked a lot of different areas. Fortunately, last year I took a bit of a promotion. So my risk of getting involved in the fighting side of things is a lot slimmer now. I'm in a suit rather than the uniform.
And a suit rather than uniform. And in terms of trying to get those times off, I mean, obviously at the moment it's blocks of events rather than weekends with the Super Series events. Does the promotion help that? Are you able to try and get out of and play the darts a little bit more that way?
So even before the promotion, I think because it helps that, you know, I do say that my darting journey started with the prison service. So I think they like that sort of promotion, and I do speak highly because I do enjoy my job. But even when it was just weekends, everything, I've been told by my governor, all the management, like whatever you need, we'll support you, we'll do our best. And yeah, like they've always said that they will do what they can to help me with this absolute golden opportunity, special thing that I've done. They really do promote it. And yeah, like I say, returning from Germany, little bit of a hero's welcome. There's like a notice gone out to all staff via email. It was announced in like a morning briefing for the whole day. Yeah, they're so supportive. I don't ever have to have worries about attending the events at all. They've been brilliant to me. I can't say anything bad.
Yeah, and just moving on to the darts side of it a little bit more. You're over a year, nearly 18 months into your tour card sort of time in the PDC, and
Yeah.
it's picked up an awful lot this year. You are starting to be a name that people are really seeing in those draws, and a name that people aren't going to want to play.
Well, you know, I think a lot of it that I've got away with a bit. Like Gerwin Price missed a lot of darts to beat me. Mervyn King missed a lot of darts to beat me. I think there is still that element of people looking at my first year, and I was seen as free money, and I think it was kind of fair. Like I can play, but these are the best in the world. And I think there's still a little bit of a hangover from that, where the killer instinct's not quite in some of the big players against me yet. But I'm causing enough upsets. I think that's probably going to disappear now. Now that little free ride, that's going to go, because yeah, I'm starting to perform a bit better.
I mean, yeah, definitely performing a bit better. We've got to talk about the Super Series just a week or so, a couple of weeks ago. It was first semi-final on a Pro Tour. That is an incredible achievement. I mean, did you ever think you'd be making that, even when you got your tour card, or even when you turned up in Germany?
No, to all of that. When I won my tour card, I didn't think I'd go 15 games without a win. You know, I thought that, you know, because I started to put in a bit of effort with my practice, I did take it more seriously. And I thought that, you know, I will scrape a win here and there. But there's been improvements in my game enough, so though that even before going to Germany, I spoke to a few people, like my manager Dean Moss, a couple of guys on like Twitter and YouTubers that I chat to that do interviews, and they said, "Oh, what's the plan?" I was like, "Oh, like, I really feel like I'm going to win my board. I've twice now made it to the last 32." I was like, I genuinely feel like in Germany, I'm going to get to that last 32 and I'm going to break that. I'm going to get through and win my board. Then I thought, you know, you're into the last 16, then that's pretty much, you're playing all the best seeds, the ones that are in form that day. So I thought that would be as far as I go. So I achieved what I said I would do, which was win my board. And yeah, it just kept going. I never expected the semi-final. There are players that have been in and around the tour for years and never made a ranking semi-final. What a moment. Like, just never saw it coming, like, at all.
How does it feel when you're just continuously collecting those wins? You say you wanted to make a board final. How does it feel when you win your last 16 and then when you win your quarter final and suddenly you're in the semi-finals?
So what I learned a lot from the Gerwyn Price win, because like I say, it took him missing a lot of doubles, but I took my opportunities. But I come away from that and I just could not get my heart rate down. I was, you know, it was huge. What a huge moment. And it really registered. And I just couldn't get my adrenaline down. And when it come to the next game, which was the board final against John Michael, I think I had a low 70 average. I totally lost everything. I could not get my heart rate under control. Like, I was buzzing. But yeah, I did learn from that. And when I picked up the win against Rob Cross the day I made the semi, it was like, what a moment. And what a moment. But I fought back to the Gerwyn Price, right, composed. So, you know, I just took a moment, controlled myself, back on the practice board, because then once you get to that, the game turnaround is so quick. You don't get like 30 minutes to unwind, chill out, have a warm up. You don't get that. You've got like 10 minutes. The games turn over quick. And yeah, like the Gerwyn Price moment was really in my mind. And I nailed it, to be honest. I got myself settled, back on the practice board, and then got myself back up for the next match. And I went to it calm, composed, focused. I got it all right until the semi-final, where I was still calm, composed, focused. But yeah, my arm was tired. My eyes were tired. It's a lot of focus. It's not the most athletic of sports darts, but it takes a lot out of you to put in that level of focus for that long. I was tired.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about how tiring a long darts tournament can be, especially when you're throwing for hours on end. Is fitness and something that you have to do with your job and you have to keep to a certain standard? Or
Yeah. I mean, in the prison service, we have yearly fitness tests. We have to keep up a certain standard. I mean, I keep fit anyway. I don't keep secret about it. I've got a condition I have to take medication for, and I've got really weak joints. I dislocate easy, so I keep myself in shape so I've got more control over my joints anyway. And with the COVID lockdown, you know, not going out to the pub as often and everything, I've managed to really keep a good fitness regime. And I think that's been a real key to my success this year. Is I've built up more muscle in my shoulders. My shoulders not dropping as much. You know, I'm not as scared of it dislocating. The pain's less. The fitness side of things has improved my darts, and it's something that I do anyway. So I've just increased that level of fitness.
yeah, I mean, if you don't mind, just a quick question about your sort of condition. I mean, Is that an issue that you'd suffer with at a tournament? And is it something that you would worry that you might get a dislocation at a darts event?
It's possible. I think it's less possible now. You know, I've had this for years. I look after myself. I mean, I can give you a little demonstration with the non-throwing arm. So, like most people, if you like put your hand against your side, your shoulder rotates to about there.
Okay.
Mine goes all the way around, full 180, and backwards. That's the sort of hyper mobility I have, and it is in my dart arm. So yeah, after a long day, although like I say, the weightlifting and keeping in shape has really helped. Especially before that, you'd see a lot of slips into the fives, but that's because my arm's not stable. It's, you know, I have much more of a battle with keeping my arm straight and direct than anyone else on the tour. I guarantee that.
Yeah.
So I've got that battle, which affects my scoring consistency, definite. But it's got better because I'm looking after myself more. Definitely, that's been my biggest improvement. I think looking after my physical side of my condition, because just try and keep that up with the talent I clearly have found.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely found some talent, that's for sure. You you talked earlier about when you arrived home from Germany and you were given a bit of a hero's welcome. I have to say, do the people inside the prison, not necessarily the people you're working with, does everybody know that you're a darts player in there?
Yeah, for the UK Open, because most prisoners have TVs in their cells. It's only the really poorly behaved that don't get a TV. ITV4 is a channel they have access to, and a notice was put out that, you know, resident officer Aaron Beeney will be on ITV. It was put out that the prisoners were encouraged to be watch and support. And a lot of the prisoners ask me about it on a daily basis. The prisoners are really supportive. I say that as a prison, they really promote it amongst staff and inmates.
So you don't think any of the inmates would have been sitting in their rooms secretly booing you then?
Oh, there might have been one or two.
Yeah, might have been one or two.
No, you can't get on with everybody.
No, that's certainly true. And just finally, I mean, it's been 18 months, as we said, on the tour. I mean, how much improvement have you seen on your side, just from the darts side? Because you look like a different player than you did 18 months ago.
It's my confidence and calmness. For the first 8 months at least on the tour, I never once went to that hockey without my hand shaking, like my chest racing. It was really intense, and I wanted so badly to do well, but I'm also there was so much going on. There was too much in here, whereas now like I say, I've practiced. I feel more comfortable in my throw, with my arm, my equipment, and I now go to the board just calmer. It's just a game of darts. It's just a game of darts. And that's in my head. And yeah, the opponent doesn't even matter now. It's very weird. It's more my mindset than the practice and the physical side of throwing the dart that's changed.
And just finally, I know you spoke about it a little bit over the past week, but the World Championship is a dream for every dart player in the world. With what you're doing this year, that is a possibility. Obviously, there's a long way to go yet, but you feel like that is something that's within reach?
Yes, I do. I genuinely do. I've rode my luck. Like I say, like big players have missed opportunities and let me in, and I've taken them. I've shown that I can do that. I also against Dirk van Dijvenbode. You know, that was 100 average match the whole way through for both of us, 5-all, and break a throw to get the last leg decider. Like, so I know I can compete at that level. I've proved I've got the game. I'm going to take the chances, and I've done enough with that already. I just need to maintain. I don't feel I need to do any more heroics into a semi-final. I just need to keep a bit of momentum. You know, keep getting a couple of round one wins. Keep maybe make another board final. Each event. I just need to keep topping it up, and it would take someone below me to have the same sort of sparkling runs that I've had to then drop me out. I feel like I can maintain what I've already built to a point where I'll be at Ali Pali.
Well, we really do wish you the best of luck, Aaron, and the best of luck for the rest of the season as well. It's been a really real pleasure talking to you for the first time, and hopefully we'll catch up with you just before Ali Pali, as we'll see who you've drawn for the World Championship. Go in price in round one.
That's pretty much my luck, I'd say.
Well, thanks very much, Aaron. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.